Have you ever felt more tired and uneasy after visiting someone than you felt before you left? At this age, even a simple visit can feel heavier than it used to. It might be quietly wearing you out in ways you cannot see right away. This message is for people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who are told to go out more or feel they must visit friends and family even when they do not really want to. If you ever felt guilty for not visiting someone, maybe your body and mind are trying to tell you something. You have lived long enough to know that not every invitation is helpful and not every outing is good for you. As we grow older, one of the hardest things to accept is that our energy, our time, and our presence are no longer endless. They need to be protected, saved, and shared with care. Today we will talk about something many older people feel but do not say. Visiting too often or too freely might be doing more harm than good. And knowing this can give you more peace, better health, and deeper respect for yourself. Let us look at 5 reasons why you should be more careful about visiting others and why staying home more often might be the best gift you can give to others and to yourself. Reason 1 is the energy drain. As we age, energy is no longer something we can rely on all the time. It becomes something we must save like water in a dry land. Visiting people, even the ones we love, takes more energy than we expect. There is getting ready, traveling, talking, staying cheerful, and then the long way back home or the quiet feeling afterward. It is not just a quick visit anymore. Most older people do not talk about how tired they feel after these visits. Some feel embarrassed, as if they are weak or not friendly. But the truth is, our bodies and minds do not bounce back like they once did. What used to be a fun afternoon now needs a full day or more to recover. During that time, our sleep can break, our mood can drop, and our body feels more stress. There is also silent pressure to act a certain way. Even when no one asks us to, we still smile more than we want to, we hold back our pain and worries, and we listen more than we speak, especially with younger people. That quiet stress builds up and leaves us more tired than we know. Margaret, who is 72, used to visit her daughter and grandkids twice a week. After every visit, her knees would hurt, she could not sleep well, and her stomach felt upset. Her doctor said it was not just her body, it was also too much emotional effort. She started visiting only once every 2 weeks and felt her energy come back. Her family noticed the change too. She was more calm, more loving, more herself. As we age, we must treat energy like money. You do not spend all of it on one meal. You save it wisely. Sometimes the best way to use it is to stay home, let your body rest, and only go where your heart feels safe. Reason 2 is the emotional weight. For many older people, visiting others is not just a physical task, it becomes an emotional challenge. There are quiet rules in every look and word. When you go to someone's home, especially family, you are not just a guest. You are expected to act a certain way. Be cheerful, stay longer, do not mention health, do not talk too much or talk just enough. These visits can feel like a test. This emotional pressure is hard, have to come every week. She meant no harm, but it hurt Walter deeply. He stopped going not because he was angry, but because he realized he was going more for them than they were for him. He did not need to do that anymore. When we visit out of duty and not joy, we build quiet pain. In old age, we do not need more heartache. Guarding your emotional space is not selfish, it is wise. If being near someone makes you feel less like yourself, it is not your job to fix it. It is your job to stop walking into it. If you are still here and this feels true to you, please write number 2 in the comments to show do not miss new messages. Your support helps us share more helpful stories. You are listening. And if you have not subscribed yet, I hope you do and turn on the bell so you. Now let us move forward. Reason 3 is the risk to your health. As we age, even a short visit can bring health problems. Our bodies become slower to fight illness. Busy homes with kids or many visitors carry hidden germs and small viruses. What is a tiny cough for a child can become a long fight for someone who is 75. Many older people do not say how they feel until it gets worse. Visits might look safe, but think about how many things you touch. Shared food, handshakes, doors, restrooms. In 1 hour you may touch many places. If you stay long, you get more tired. Your body works harder just to stay polite and alert. You might feel pressure to eat foods you do not want, stay up late, or listen through loud talk. This is not a simple visit. It becomes hard work. Edith, who is 84, loved seeing her daughter's family. But after every visit she felt tired for days. One time she caught a stomach bug from her grandchild and ended up in the hospital. After that, she and her daughter agreed no more visits when anyone is even a little sick. It was a strong rule, but a smart one. Older people need peace and regular routine to stay healthy. Have you ever left someone's house feeling more tired and off balance than before you arrived? As we grew older, what once felt like a casual visit slowly turned into something much heavier. The simple act of going visiting often drained more from us than we realized. This message was for those in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who heard things like, "You should get out more," or who felt obligated to keep making rounds, even when deep inside, they just wanted to rest. If you ever carried guilt for not visiting, maybe that was your body trying to whisper a truth your mind didn't want to hear. We reached an age where we finally understood, not every invite was a gift, and not every outing deserved a yes. Our energy, our time, our presence, they weren't endless anymore. They required care. So today, we explored 5 powerful reasons why seniors like you needed to be more cautious about visiting, and how choosing rest more often than not brought more peace, better health, and deeper self-respect. Reason 1, the energy drain. As we aged, energy stopped being something we took for granted. It became a currency, a limited resource. Visiting others, even those we loved, took more out of us than we expected. There was the prep, the travel, the smiling, the listening, the staying upbeat. And then afterward, there was the crash, the aching joints, the foggy mind, the restless sleep. Nobody really talked about how exhausting it got, maybe because admitting it felt like failure. But it wasn't weakness. It was just biology. Our nervous systems recovered slower, our bodies reacted louder. Take Margaret, 72. She used to visit her daughter twice a week. After every visit, her sleep suffered, her digestion went haywire, and she wondered what was wrong. Her doctor told her the truth, it wasn't just physical, it was emotional overexertion. When she cut back to once every 2 weeks, her health bounced back. She felt more herself. Her family noticed, too. Energy needed to be spent wisely now, like budgeting money. Sometimes the smartest choice was staying home and letting your spirit recharge. Reason 2, the emotional expectations. Visiting others stopped being about connection. Too often, it turned into emotional performance. The pressure snuck in, smile more, stay longer, don't complain, don't bring up your pain. Especially with younger folks, you found yourself holding back. You worried whether you talked too much or not enough. You noticed when the topic changed quickly after you spoke. That silence lingered longer than anyone realized. Walter, 78, visited his nephew every Sunday, until one day the nephew's wife said, "You don't have to come every week." She meant it kindly. But it broke something inside Walter. He never returned, not out of spite, but because he recognized he was giving more than he was receiving. So many older people visited out of habit or guilt, forgetting that emotional landscapes shifted. Jokes cut deeper, phones stole attention, and conversations no longer flowed. When your peace depended on protecting your emotional space, saying no became wisdom, not rudeness. Because your heart deserved safety, not strain. Reason 3, the health risk factor. Health became a fragile gift in older age. And every visit held more risk than it used to. Crowded homes meant germs. Shared food, surfaces, hugs, they carried tiny threats. What felt like a harmless cough from a child could send you to the hospital. Edith, 84, loved seeing her daughter's family. But one toddler's stomach virus landed her in the ER. After that, she and her daughter agreed, no visits if anyone seemed unwell. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Our immune systems weakened, our recovery slowed. One night of poor sleep spiked blood sugar, raised blood pressure, and shook our balance. Visits brought fatigue, overstimulation, even emotional stress. Older adults pushed through it quietly. But their bodies kept score. The cost wasn't the visit itself, it was everything the visit triggered. So next time you faced a social invitation, ask, will this heal me or harm me? Because protecting your health started with protecting your time. Reason 4, the financial pressure. Not every visit costed money, but many carried unspoken financial weight. Older adults, especially grandparents, often felt compelled to bring something. A gift, a treat, help with dinner or bills. Not because anyone asked, but because giving felt like love. Paul, 78, visited his niece's family every other weekend. He brought pastries, toys, groceries. Over 2 years, he spent over $3,000. His savings dwindled, and he started worrying. It wasn't that he wanted to buy affection, it's that he tied his worth to being helpful. And that's the trap. As we aged, we often linked love with usefulness. But that mindset led us to stretch ourselves too thin, financially and emotionally. Even when no one expected anything, we gave too much. Because saying no felt selfish. But really, boundaries protected not just your wallet, but your peace. Love didn't have to be expensive. It needed to be safe. Reason 5, losing your rhythm. Aging taught us that peace came not from big events, but from small rituals, our coffee in the morning, our afternoon rest, our quiet time. But when we visited others too often, we lost those patterns. We shifted meal times, missed our walks, skipped our journaling or prayer. Suddenly, we lived by someone else's clock. Eugene, 76, used to spend every Sunday at a friend's house. At first, it felt fun. But over time, Sunday no longer belonged to him. He stopped reading his paper, missed his porch coffee, felt mentally scattered. His peace slipped away, slowly. That's the quiet cost of losing rhythm. And when you surrendered your rhythm repeatedly, your body and spirit felt lost. That subtle restlessness grew. So protecting your rhythm wasn't selfish, it was necessary. Your routine became sacred. It kept you strong. Final thoughts. Aging taught us that peace didn't come from being everywhere, knowing everything, or pleasing everyone. It came from choosing where you wanted to be, who you wanted around, and how you spent your precious energy. Saying no to frequent visits wasn't about pushing people away. It was about honoring yourself. You earned the right to rest, to think, to stay home when your spirit said, "Not today." If visits left you drained, you weren't alone. That quiet fatigue so many seniors carried wasn't weakness. It was wisdom, knocking. Your health, your rhythm, your joy, they deserve protection. Even if it meant saying no more often than yes. So now we ask, have you ever left a visit feeling more empty than full? What did that moment teach you about your energy, your boundaries, your worth? Share your story below. Your voice matters. And if this message touched you, we hope you'll subscribe, share, and stay with us. Because growing older meant growing wiser, and wisdom thrived in truth, rest, and self-respect. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.